This short film came about while I was making another film. This other film was a documentary about a treasure hunt in Afghanistan. And we were on our way to Afghanistan, traveling through Pakistan in a city called Peshawar, when we were suddenly arrested by Pakistani military police. We would spend the next 16 days in Pakistani torture prison. And during this time, we were not given any information about why we were arrested or how long we were going to be there. We were not either given any permission to call family or embassies or make any contact with anybody in the outside world.
Hearing the story for the first time was quite a the fact that it actually happened to David was quite a shock kind of thing. As he was talking, all these ideas would come rushing to you, sort of films you'd seen, or images you'd think, or things people had taught you. So although I couldn't directly relate to his experience, I could, pull on different things he would say, or different memories, or different, dreams he sort of thought about.
There was a problem in my cell because there was a huge ant invasion, and immediately, out of a pure hygienic point of view, I had to kill these ants because they were all over the place. They were all over me and they were all over the floor. But then I realized that if I didn't keep doing this, as soon as I saw ants in the cell, they would immediately come back and they would immediately find this trail again. And so all of a sudden it became an obsession for me to actually, as soon as I saw an ant, even just outside the bars to the cell, I had to try to kill it. If I could control the ants, if I could control the situation with the ants, and if I could keep the cell clean, I was somehow in a better position towards myself. I was more in control. And this helped to a great deal, just to create some kind of physical ritual every day to maintain this control. And therefore we've then tried to develop this character who's an ant, but not really a character with a voice or with a behavior, but more a character who's chased by this human for reasons that he has no idea, and therefore kind of reflecting the same feeling that the human has, that he's being locked up for reasons he has no idea what they are.
Within the cell itself, you've got this, you're a small box, a small sort of prison within a vast landscape. Then from an ant's perspective, you've got this vast landscape within this cell. So you've got all this going on within a small sort of space.
We talk about two different visions in the film, the ant's perspective and the human perspective. Even though it's in the same space, we really wanted to show the difference.
We started then working with these different medias, like actually doing real paintings or fine art drawings of the cell, developing that into 3D environments with the help of 3D, and then 2D compositing to really try to blur the edge between what 3D can bring that looks really realistic, but also pulling people into that kind of mind world.
There's so much to play with, there's all the different ideas, when you're sort of sitting in your room at night and you're sort of looking up at the ceiling, you're noticing like the spider in the corner of the room moving, or you're picking out pictures on the walls, or these different things you can sort of relate to on some level.
Well, my previous film was called Replay, and it was mainly stylized 3D animation and 3D characters and fully CGI. And what is interesting in this new project is that we're mixing the two mediums. We're mixing 2D and 3D animation. So.
Obviously I want to do this film because this experience was really strong for me, and we want to make a film that really gives not an emotional take on being locked up in prison, but more talks about the psychology of it and that kind of world where a person lives only with himself but also driven by a strong, even political or a strong action-based storyline, which is either a chase or a sort of pressure situation where somebody has locked you up and you can't confront this person because you don't know who it is.